What? Just okay, guys. Let me know that you can hear me, that you can see me, and that I'm not blurry. So as you pop on here, say hey. Tell me where you're tuning in from. Okay, I've got Jean telling me that everything is good. All right, so I'm excited to show you what I've been working on today. One of the things that I struggle with, and I don't know if a lot of you do, but as far as really finding containers to put in my house that I have my candles in and things in almost in every room, that they kind of go with my decor. Hey, Tracy. And so I want to be able to show you how to create these really beautiful, can you see this? They're very modeled. They're great looking, kind of a gray color that I have started doing. I want to show you this one. And I've had the best time with these. Look at this. Look at the color of this container. One, I adore the shape. I love the color. I love how it's very modeled and kind of this gray color. It goes with any interior. It's very monochromatic, so you could set it on your um, you can set it on your countertops in your kitchen. You can do it in a bathroom. Part of my whole reasoning in doing this was to be able to create kind of like a little village of succulents that you would see in a container or a topiary, but have it as candles. And it makes it so much fun. And so being able to go with a larger container like this is really going to give us an opportunity to use it again and again. We're going to be introducing some things like little mini houses, little Christmas trees, all that type thing for the holidays that's going to allow you to be able to change it up. But now, as we're in the end of summer and we want to be able to have things like flowers and succulents and things that will take us into fall, this is absolutely the cutest project ever. So, when I'm going to put it down in just a minute so you'll be able to kind of see the top. But what I want to do is several things today. I want to show you how you can make your own gorgeous containers, but create them with a little bit of color, create some modeling, create a patina to them that makes them really, really pretty. And also, I'm going to show you how to create and paint your own waxed color flowers. Look at this. You can do them in so many different colors and variations. They're absolutely adorable. And then how to be able to go in and actually create them. Can you see this? These are waxed flowers that I am painting and creating different colors on. So that way you can see the opportunity to do all these different things are absolutely fabulous. I love them. So as you pop on here, say hey, tell me where you're tuning in from. And if you're anywhere near us, it is hot as blue blazes here. We're in Florida. We're in the Panhandle in Florida. So let me know where you're tuning in from and what the weather's like in your neck of the woods. And then take advantage today. I'm just going to tell you, I'm using quite a few products today. This is a great deal because the way we have it when we do Maker Monday and Finish Friday with my sister company, um, we give you the advantage of being able to take advantage of a code. And today is Candle 20. Candle 20, all lowercase.
Handles.
Candles. Oh, it's plural. Okay. Candles 20. And so it's in the prompt at the very top. You can see it. Type that code in, and that's going to allow you to be able to get 20% off of the products that I'm teaching you today, which really makes it a great deal. So, this is a project that you're going to love doing. This would be something that you're going to love getting with your friends. It's truly one of those things when you look at making something, and this is my thought process. If I'm going to spend the time and the energy and the money to make something, I want to create something that would be really, really expensive in a shop. If I went into a really cute boutique shop that I loved all their things, and I have seen candles like this that are larger. This is a very large candle that goes on maybe a stack of books on your cocktail table. These run about $185. And I'm going to show you today how to be able to make it to where one, it's very inexpensive, very affordable, and you can use it over and over and over again. All right, so I'm going to turn this down. We've got a lot to go over. So hang with me. And again, as you pop on here, say, hey, tell me where you're tuning in from. And if you share this video, tag some good friends that love crafting a beautiful life as well. I'm going to put your name in for a drawing because I'm going to give some goodies away and I'm even going to pay to ship them to you. So all you have to do is share this video, tag some good friends, and we say sharing is caring here at A Maker Studio. So that way your name will go in for a drawing and we'll be drawing that in a few days and you might be the lucky winner. But as we're getting ready for the holidays, also think about people that are crafty, creative. They're all about this. And if you've never done anything like this before, I really encourage you. I know so many of you love working with our stencils, and we do have a lot of fabulous stencils that'll be launching the middle of next month. So stay tuned. We've got a lot of new designs, a lot of fall stencils, and then we've got a huge Christmas launch of stencils coming. But I want you to do all kinds of creative things. I want you to be able to have your home as an extension of your creativity. And this is a beautiful way to do that. So without further ado, I'm going to go on and turn this down. And so that way I want to get started so you can see me. But as you pop on here, say hey, and then take advantage. If you go directly to the website, if you just go to A Maker Studio, you'll see a banner there and it says learn how, and it will take you to all the products that I'm showing you today. So you won't get confused, and take advantage of that code when you check out, Candles 20. All right, let's turn this down so I can show you. I want to make sure that I can see. And again, say hey. I love seeing our so different. You're from Chile. It's cold in Indiana. Oh, lucky you. Jonesboro, Tennessee. Jill, you're right by Memphis. That's my hometown. All right, so the first thing I'm going to show you today, of course, this is kind of the top of my candle that I've been working on. And showing you today how to be able to make colored flowers, how to be able to, I'm going to go in and show you how to be able to create colored waxes like this. So that way they literally look painted, because you can use these on large candles as well as small ones. And I'm going to show you how to be able to go in and create different colors of succulents that you can put on top of these. Some of you may want colors. I thought it would be fine just to do something monochromatic, but I plan on working and doing a gradation and creating what would look like a garden. And I'm going to show you how you can do that as well. So these containers is what we're starting with. So I'm going to move this off to the side. And again, if you look at what these large candles are running, when they have different designs on the top of them, they're anywhere from about $185 to $240. It's crazy. So this is going to allow you an opportunity to make them a lot less expensive. So what we're going to do is we're going to make our container. Now the container, this is gorgeous. Look how big it is. And part of the reason why I love having a big wide mouth like this is because it allows us to put 2 wicks in, and it allows us to be able to create a succulent garden, to create flowers. Later on, I'm going to be showing you how to create Christmas trees and little houses in it, but it's just a perfect container that you can use over and over and over again. But part of what I wanted to show you how to do today was how to get this color value to it where it's really pretty. So I want to show you how to do that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start with our Eco Powder, and then we're also going to be working with our pigment. I'm going to be working with Scandinavian Gray. The Scandinavian Gray is going to take it more into that mottled kind of gray look. Now, if you wanted to be able to create and go into colors, you could definitely do that. I'm just showing you options because I want you to see how to create these really cool looking looks. So I'm going to go in and put my Eco Powder in my container. Now, if you're going to be making one of these really large bowls, I use about 2/3 of a bag of the Eco Powder. I've already used some of this on another project. So I'm going to pour that in there. Now, there are other containers that I'm going to show you that are smaller, like this one, that make for a great candle as well. But part of the reason why I like this one and that I'm showing you, see the lip on this, how thick this is? When you're making candles and you're doing them with Eco Powder and you're making your own containers, make sure that the mold itself is thick to be able to withstand the heat and things that you're going to get from a waxed candle. All right, so now I'm going to go on and I want to show you, I'm going to take just a little bit of the Scandinavian Gray. I prefer when it's in its powder form, putting in my pigment. This is a straight pigment. This is not paint. This is not milk paint. This is a straight pigment. So it means that it's going to be able to change the color and it be a richer color by not having it diluted with any other things in it. So I'm going to take a little bit of this out. I'm letting you see as far as the proportion. And now I'm going to start mixing this in a powder form. It's kind of a little bit like baking. Now, can I come back and add a little bit more gray after I put my water in? Absolutely. But what I like to do is I like to mix up whatever color that I'm going to be doing, whatever color container I want to make. Then that way I feel like it's just mixed really well. But let's say you want to come and you want to create a really pretty light blue container. You want to be able to create kind of a salmony, a peach color, depending on what pigment you want and putting it in the eco powder, your container is going to be different colors. All right, so now I want you to see the color of my pigment and look at the color of my eco powder. It's much lighter. I'm going to add just a little bit more. I'm not wanting it to go as dark as my pigment. And I'm going to mix that up really good. Guys, as you pop on here, please say hey. Tell me where you're tuning in from, and be sure and share this video because your name will go in for a drawing that we will be giving away some of the products that I'm working with today. And then take advantage of the coupon that we have. You can go to the website, and there's a banner right there, and it shows you all the products that I'm going to be working with today, and you can get 20% off, which is a deal because when you see what I'm going to be showing you. All right, so now I'm going to add my water. Add just a little bit. When you're working with the eco powder, it is 3 parts eco powder to 1 part water. So I'll add just a little bit to get it to where it starts to stiffen up, kind of like a dough. I'm happy with that. Now I'm going to go in and add just a little bit more water. Now I don't have one up here in my studio. The other thing I want you to see, did you notice how much darker it got once I started adding the water to this? So don't judge the color of your container and what it's going to be by the color that it is in its powder form. Now you'll see I'm still trying to work with this a little bit while it's stiffer because that way I want to make sure that I get down into my powder. Now I'm going to add just a little bit more water. It's kind of a gradual thing. I don't ever want to add all of my water in the beginning. I'm going to turn this on the side because I want to get down in here really good. The other thing I've noticed when I make my containers is the fact that I do like having almost a marbly effect, and it's really pretty. Now, if you have one of those kind of frappe mixers, or if you have like a blender that you use for like your soups, you can use that with this as well. I'm just trying to get down into the bottom, because I want you to make sure that it's mixed up really, really well and you don't have any little granules, because it is so fun to make your own containers to be able to put these candles in. I'm almost there. Hang with me. All right. So now, just strictly for the sake of time, I'm going to go in and pour some more in here because I want you to be able to see it. The other thing is I want you to see our color. Isn't that beautiful? I love it. It dries down. It may be just a little bit darker than this. This is a little lighter, and I have a lot of light to be able to have it where you'll see. But it's going to dry down to just kind of a light gray color. So I'm going to go on and pour this in my mold. So now this is, you'll see it on the website. This is my large wide mouth mold bowl. And this is what I love working with because I like creating the succulent garden. I like having roses in it. I love creating all different kinds of flowers. And then later I've already got my plan for my Christmas trees to go in it. My little wax candle Christmas trees. So cute. All right, so let's go in and pour this in our mold. And one thing I want you to notice, as you're pouring it up, you want to just start kind of going around and making sure that you hit the sides of the mold like this. What it's doing is it's agitating it. It's having everything kind of flow around. I love this kind of variation and kind of marbly effect. Can you see it? It will look like that even on the sides and inside. I think that adds a lot of interest. And then I want this to dry for about an hour and a half. Now, if you've got a heater or a dryer, a creative kind of maybe in your studio, which I do, I'll pop it in there. and it will dry a lot faster. But I'm going to go in and move this off to the side. And I've got one already undone. I want to be able to show you on a smaller one how you take the mold out. Okay, I had just a little bit of spill here. Jean, could you grab me some paper towels? They're right over here on this other table, the paint table. All right, so I'm going to get Jean to bring me some paper towels. That way I can clean that up. It's kind of hard when I'm doing these lives and showing you, but at least it'll allow me to be able to show you when it's finished. All right, so now this is one of the molds that I've done, and I'm going to go on and unmold it. So after about, let's say, an hour and a half, 2 hours, or you can leave it for the next day if you want. I just prefer that you not take it out too soon because I want to make sure that it's nice and hard. So now I'm just going to go on and pull the mold on the sides like this, just gradual. Just a little bit at a time. I'll work my way around the mold and then pull out the center like this. Now, this is kind of like the shape that I have on my round bowl that I just poured up that I'm showing you today. But you can do both because, see, what I like here, see how thick this rim is? The thickness of it allows you to be able to create a nice candle so that way it's not going to crack or mess up. The other thing that I would suggest, you can do a couple of things. A lot of you have product at home like polyurethanes, or you've done different projects where you've sealed them. I would either like for you to use my matte sealer or some type of polyurethane to be able to put down into the area that the belly of your container where you're going to be pouring your wax. This just acts as an extra protection, one, when you get through with the candle and we want to be able to pour it up again and to be able to have a great looking candle. So let's come and seal this. Again, you can use the matte sealer, or you can use, if you've got any polyurethane in the garage or anything like that, just take an artist brush and go around in the inside and just kind of wash it so that way it's got a nice sealant on it, and it's going to make it that much better when you go to clean it to be able to re-pour it again. All right, so now I'm going to go, I think just for, I got one of these already ready. I'll go on and show you how to put that in. So now I'm going to go on and place my wicks. I'm going to pop this in here like this. Now, when you've got your wicks, there's little sheets of sticky things that you can put on the bottom of it. And that's going to basically hold that wick in place. When you go to large bowls like this, I like having 2 wicks in it. And I will tell you what I prefer more than anything in these bowls. I like the wood wicks. That's what I did in mine that I'm going to be using at my house. And we have those on the website. I just used all of mine up and I didn't have any more to show you. But I would prefer that you use the wood wicks. One, they pop. The flame is real pretty on it. I like the sound that they give. But if you don't want to, you can definitely go with these soy wax wicks. All right, so the next thing I want to be able to show you is we have our wax. It's an organic beeswax. And it's really easy to work with. I love the fact that when you're working with it, you don't have to worry about it letting off toxins and things. It's all natural, it's organic. And the other thing is I like the color. I like the fact that it's in the pellets because it's really easy to tint. So what I do when I am working with my candles, I do 2 things. I like using the white pigment because I like having white flowers. If I'm going to be working with and creating succulents that are white, that are like on my candle, I'm going to use my white pigment. That's going to take the wax and make it just a really pretty color. But what if I wanted to be able to go on and have a garden? I want to be able to go into peaches and roses and things. I'm going to do the same thing. Instead of using white pigment, I'm just going to come in and take a little bit. I did a little bit of red to get this color. I did a little bit of red pigment and I mixed a little bit of the Toulouse rose. Isn't that pretty? This makes such a pretty candle. And I'm going to tell you, you can make these so much more inexpensively. They're great gifts to make for the holidays coming up. That way you could set up and you could make a dozen of them and give them to people, because if you bought this in a shop, you're looking at a couple of $100 easy. And it's something, I love the satisfaction of actually making it. All right, so the other thing I'm going to do before I pour this up, hang with me because I'm going to show you how I did my candles. I mean my flowers. So I've got my wax that's already melted here. I'm going to add just a little bit more. I'm going to add just a little bit more white pigment. And you want to add the white pigment when it's actually melted. When I was showing you when you were mixing the pigment with your eco powder, it's good to mix it when it's dry. But when you go into creating the colors in your waxes, it's really good to be able to do it once the wax is melted. Now, you can do a double boiler. You can set these in inexpensive pots that you get from the Dollar Tree, which I do that too. And they're really easy to clean out. But I like having something like this because it's got a handle on it and it's easy for me to hold. All right, so I'm really pleased with the fact that this looks like a white wax, and it's going to be a pretty foundation, a base for me to be able to put my flowers on. So let's go ahead and pour this up. So I'm going to pour it into the center. I'm going to need to get just a little bit more wax. I feel like I've got a chemistry experiment going over here. Tell you what, I'm going to go in and let you take that by the handle, if you would. I'm going to turn this one off. All right, so I'm going to go on. I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to let it start to set up. And I want to show you how I'm going to actually be doing my flowers. Tell you what, I'm going to hand that to you. I'm going to need to go in and put some more wax in it in a minute. All right, so now if you're going to be creating some flowers and you want to be able to create different colors, I want to show you how I did this. So now on the website, we've got our little flowers that are like this. They come in a set. We've also got a set of our succulents. And then when I do these flat flowers, when I'm creating a garden, I like having some that are more three-dimensional that sit up high. Then I like to be able to have some that are smaller like this, especially if you're going to be working on smaller candle containers like this, and that you've got one wick in it. It's a lot of fun to be able to have just tiny little flowers that you can set around on the top of your candle. Look at that. Can you see that? It's so cute. It adds so much more flair, and a lot of people are like, I have never seen that. That is like the cutest thing I've ever seen. All right, so now I want to be able to show you. I'm going to take a little bit of my white wax. There's two things that we can do. I'm going to put a little bit of white wax in here. And then I'm going to take just a little bit of my Toulouse rose pigment. And I want to show you that allows me to be able to create this gorgeous colored wax. Very sophisticated. Now it's going to go darker. When you start to add the pigment, you're going to notice that it's going to go darker, but it's going to dry down just a little bit lighter. Not much, but about 15%. You want to make sure that you stir it up really good, so that way all of your pigment has been dispersed. And would you give me a pipette out of that last cabinet? The very end, there should be some pipettes in there. Do you see them? So one thing I want you to know that we have these on a Maker Studio. It's good to work with what's called a little pipette. When you're working with small, delicate flowers like this that can be so cute and add so much detail, or even if you're working with the larger ones like this, it's good to be able to have a pipette. And believe it or not, with the hot wax, you're only pulling it from a suction up into here about this far. And then that way you're releasing it. So it never really burns your hand because it doesn't get up into the cylinder that you're holding. And it has been such a great tool for me to be able to work with. And let me show you what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna go on and put my pipette in here. Now, I will tell you, you're gonna have to keep your wax on your stove to be able to keep it to where it's gonna continue to be melted. So I will come in with my pipette like this in these little flowers. So I can spread it around and I can make sure that it gets into all of the crevices. I can tell my wax is already starting to kind of solidify. Now I want to show you one that I had done earlier, and I'm getting ready to show you this technique as well. So I'll just pull the mold out like this, and it allows my flower to kind of pop out. So that way you see the detail in it. It's crazy. They're so cute. Now let me show you something else that I do. If you don't want to mix the pigment in it when it's wet, you've got options. So I come back, I take an artist brush, and I'll come around in my mold before I add my wax. And I'll dust it. Whatever colors I want with my pigments. And we do have these in the collection, so you can get all the pigment colors, you can mix them. Look at that. So I'm dusting the pigment itself. This is a straight pigment. This is not paint. I'm dusting the pigment in here, and I'm going to go on and take the yellow. I love putting a secondary color in the center. You could do this in a green. You can do it in a yellow, whatever you want to do. It really kind of allows it to be able to have more depth. And if you want to really kind of even take it to the next level, if you want to come in and brush just a little bit on the tips, you will have two colors. You'll have that rose color and you'll have the yellow on top of it. Use your imagination. I like working with different colors of greens, but basically dusting the straight pigment into the mold, allowing it to sit there, and then come back and pour your wax directly on top of it. Now, I will work with my white wax again, and I'll use my pipette, and I'm going to put some down in here so that way you can see it. Guys, as you pop on here, tell me hello. Tell me where you're tuning in from and what the weather is like in your neck of the woods. Also, take advantage of everything that I'm showing you today. You can get it 20% off. You just want to use the code CANDLES20. That's CANDLES20, all lowercase, and it is plural. But you can share this video, tag some good friends, and your name will go in for a drawing, and we're going to be giving away some of the things that I'm showing you today, how to make these gorgeous succulents and flowers, and then I'm going to ship it to you. So to be the lucky winner, all you have to do is share. All right, so now that shows you how that's able to set up. I use the pipette. If I try to pour in these smaller molds, I have more mess than I do final product. So I usually use a pipette for that. And then that way, when I'm finished, if I have it to where it's gone a little bit over on the edges, that's okay. I can just clean it up. And I've got some that I've done here that I wanted you to see. A lot of the molds have a lot of different textures. They're all these different little flowers, so you can make all these cute little looks that are adorable to be able to set on your flower. And then I like mixing them with the succulents. So demolding this, I'll pull it on the sides like this and then just pop it out, and I can use these over and over again. A lot of people, you may not have seen where I had shared this. I'd shared this on social media. You can also, with these molds, you can use them with the wax, which I love creating wax flowers and wax succulents to put on top of my candles. You can also use the eco powder, because if you wanted to, this would make an adorable knob on a piece of furniture. Mind blown. So I could do this with the eco powder. I pour the eco powder in right before it has set up. I'm going to place a screw in the back of it and allow it to harden, because when you think about when you're working with the eco powder, this is really heavy duty. And so I could come back, put the screw in the back of this. This would be an adorable knob on something. And then that way I'm going to seal it when I get finished. If I'm going to use it as a knob, I'll either brush some of my resin on top of it, just to be able to make it a little bit hardier. And that way I can come back and gild it if I want to. So it's a great idea on how to be able to use the eco powder and the mold. If you did not want to create a wax succulent, this would definitely be something that would be a fantastic piece of hardware or decorative molding. So the molds have a lot of different uses. I just love using them for my candles. So I showed you how to be able to use the pigment inside the mold, add the white wax. You can actually color the wax and create complementary colors to be able to go. So this one, I sprinkled the pigment inside the mold. So it has a very painterly effect. And then when I use it in conjunction with the ones where I colored my wax all together and popped them out, then that way they're complementary and they almost look like a piece of art. They're so pretty. So the other thing is, if you want to be able to take advantage and create fragrance, we have this beautiful collection of 6 essential oils. It's only $19.99. I've been to Whole Foods, I've looked at them, and these are organic and natural. But if I buy these at Whole Foods, they'll run upwards of $12 to $15 a piece. So this is a really great buy. You get 6 of them for $19.99 on a Maker Studio. And today you can take advantage of the coupon and get it 20% off, which is a deal. So the last thing I wanted to just show you, after you have done your molds in the eco powder, if you want to be able to come back and wax them and get just a little bit of a patina, you totally can, but it's up to you. I will usually just take a light antique wax and go over them with a rag and buff them up, and it's going to give you a really pretty finish. But the fun thing is that I want you to realize is that you can create these adorable gardens with all of your flowers and all of your succulents, and that you have hand painted and really have a lot of creativity in creating these gorgeous succulent gardens. And you can have so much fun, I promise. So hopefully, as you see, I'm kind of like a crazy person. I come in my studio, I start playing, and then it just kind of grows on itself. But I will tell you, for a creative person like you, most of us that are on here, we're all sisters from a different mother. And the creative aspect that we have is a God-given gift that we can use to be able to make our homes more beautiful. It can be used to create gifts for people that we can give to them. And when they know that we've done something as beautiful as this, one, they're going to be gasping, they're going to be in awe, and they're going to be like, how in the world did you do that? And it's really going to allow you an opportunity to love them well. And the nice thing is you've enjoyed it the whole time. It's been so much fun. So today, you're going to be able to make your own containers. You're going to be able to customize the colors of your containers, and you're going to be able to make custom hand-painted pigmented flowers, as well as succulents and all the things. I can't wait to see what you do. And share this video, tag some good friends that you know love crafting a beautiful life as well. And that way your name will go in for a drawing, and take advantage of the discount code. It'll be up for 3 days, so you can take advantage of it. I hope you have a fabulous week. We're off to a great start. I love you guys. Mwah.